Good afternoon to you all. Mr. Stephen back again. Week 3. Only one more week left after this. Week 3 already, going by very quickly. I'll try and keep it short again to around 10 minutes. So I'll just get on with it and we'll see what happens. Okay, let me open this up. Okay, so the same as always, week 3, plants, flowers, and insects. This week we looked at plants a bit more because week 1 was flowers. Next week will be insects. The same areas, EYFS, and we'll just go through it again. As always, I'll touch on the bookwork. We did each in the Sightwords book. Thinking skills, there was a bit of reading in this. We did 2 pages and it was sort of prepositions and instructions, but it was quite tough simply because there was too much text. But verbally, the children were able to understand when explained. And the maths was addition and subtraction. Subtraction was harder than I anticipated, simply because we've been doing lots of addition, so I'd like to try and focus a little bit more on subtraction. Sort of fit with the theme, plants, insects, and next week with insects. So a page of subtraction, a page of addition, and then again, more text, quite text heavy, the books this week. Yes, so that's the book way. Of course, we had the journal as well and handwriting. Okay, understanding of the world. So the knowledge part. This was Monday. We were looking at plants. And without any sort of real knowledge, I wanted to see what the children sort of understood, even just by looking at the pictures. So we sort of created this small world where we had these sort of shiny pebbles as the sea and the forest and desert. And we had 3 habitats. You had the desert, the ocean, and the forest. And the children were taking these small plants and sticking them in the right environment just to start the week, to start the theme. That was Monday. And it set the sort of scene for the vocabulary, cactus, flowers, and stuff like that. Carrying on from the vocabulary from the week before with soil and seeds. As you can see in the activity underneath, this was the life cycle of a seed. So the children were labeling and putting it in the right area. It's sort of literacy as well as knowledge, but it was recapping what we'd already done. It's put near the flowers. It's sad to say that the flowers are actually sort of dying now. It's quite sad, but it's still quite good because the children get to actually see the life cycle of a plant in motion. So even though they know it's coming to the end of the cycle begins again with the seeds and so on. So that was understanding of the world. It was a nice little task. Literacy, quite a lot of literacy. We carried on logging the plants, the changes, the observations, using the vocabulary that what I was just talking about, drawing pictures. So the plant log, we did some guided reading, The Prince and the Parsnip. And again, it was nice because the book sort of fit in with vegetables and plants and things growing, soil. And with this, we had some sesame seeds, and we were writing some words from the book using our fingers in the seeds. The same with you see the big point of the finger. We were pointing to words and reading on the screen and then writing the words in the sesame seeds. Quite interactive, quite hands-on. That was good. And then we used the topic vocabulary again for flowers and plants, and we were using real life vegetables to make a plant. So we had seeds, the sunflower seeds, and we had roots, stem, leaves, and flowers. So the flower was like the broccoli, Stem was the celery. The leaves were these mint leaves, and ginger for the roots. Again, it was chosen on purpose so the children could smell it and interact with it. Ginger and mint, which was fun. Most of the children recognized the smells. Surprisingly, ginger was the favorite. So yes, they were quite familiar with it, but it brought up good speaking opportunities as well. Arts. We did some painting this week. We carried on with Monet. We looked at Monet's bridge, his lily pond, and we used paint, pens, and we were mixing colors, and then putting the lily ponds on top. So that was our art, Claude Monet. And we spent a bit of time with music this week. We had the wood blocks and the tambourines and maracas and triangles. And we were going over some of the songs. We had the Penguin song, Fly, 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 and I'm a Little Rain Cloud. So that was quite fun. Something we'd not done for a while. But it was good. The children enjoyed using the instruments because it's something, again, we can't really do a lot of because of the virus. So we need to take precautions with the instruments and sanitizing them and things. But it was fun. It was fun to do a bit of that again. Same as Monet. It was fun as well. It looks good. It's now in the corridor in the school. It's been put on a board, which is good. The maths, other than the maths book, addition and subtraction, we looked at addition and subtraction here as well, with seeds, adding and taking away, up to the children after demonstrating it in circle time. They went off in their small sort of pairs and twos, and they were using the dice, rolling the dice and writing the numbers on the board, and then counting the seeds using the tongs, and then adding them together or taking them away. Much more interesting than I thought. The children enjoyed using it. There was even a magnifying glass at one point. They were sort of looking at the seeds and looking at texture again and things like that. It was much more interesting than just addition. There was a lot of conversation at the area as well. So that went well. Personal social, we carried on growing our plants. As you can see at the bottom, they're growing now, so we get to see that with the plant log and roots and leaves and stems. And at the top, they're sort of growing. I don't really know how, but they are growing inside the classroom. And we also looked at the idea of plants in the environment, recycling. And we had so many sort of different pieces of material lying around in the classroom. I thought it would be good to try and use them rather than wasting them. So we were sort of making flowers and plants, and the children were quite creative, as you can see, very colorful, using up materials rather than wasting them. So they'll go around the classroom. Nice bit of work. And the idea of plants looking after us, and now we're looking after the environment. And physical. We played with the parachute. We had some bugs, and we were shaking the parachute with the bugs, and the bugs were flying through the air. And if possible, much harder than anticipated, we had to try to save the bugs by catching them. Once again, like the bubbles last week, you can imagine, it gets a bit crazy, but it's all good fun. We'll probably do it again. Maybe replacing the bugs with words, and the children will be able to build sentences when they catch the word. Maybe add a bit of literacy to it. Maybe make the parachute a bit bigger so more people can join in as well, rather than small groups at a time. And the other side, you had the hoops and sort of turtles. We were throwing the animals, the turtles, into the hoops, and it was to do with habitats. You're sending the animals back to their habitats. The same way we spoke about plants growing in the desert and forests and under the water in the ocean and things. So it was sort of all intertwined. And I think that is it. That is it. Okay, a quick one. So that's the end of the second week of plants, flowers, and insects. That was plants this week. Next week, we're looking at insects. but it's only a 4-day week because we have the Disney trip on the Wednesday. Less book work next week, which is a good thing, and the focus on insects. So we'll carry on. And as always, any comments, please leave them in the box below. Send me an email, call the school, handbook comments, whatever you desire, if you have anything. If you don't have anything to say, it's all fine. Yeah? And I'll talk to you throughout the week, Wednesday, and then again, a video at the end of the week. So until then, stay safe and goodbye to you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.